Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll talk about another important thing with respect to the drop-down values. So basically in our previous tutorial video, we have understood about how to select the drop-down values, right? From the drop-down menu, we understood how to select the values. But in this tutorial, we are going to see how to validate the drop-down values. So there is a difference between the selection and the validation. So we have understood about the selection part. So in this video, we are going to see how you can actually verify the presence of these particular values. Okay, for example, if these many countries are present in this particular drop down, so whether any of them is missing from this drop down, how do you verify that? How do you verify the content of this particular drop down? So this is what we are going to see today. Okay, so let me just create a class, then I'll explain. Uh, I'll just give the class name as drop down values verification. Okay, so just create this verification, this particular class. Then from my previous class, I'll copy certain code so that I don't have to write it again. So just paste it here and okay. So far this code is understood. Okay, so in my previous video I have already explained. So this is the normal setup and this is about that browser URL launching. Okay, and this is the select class and we are just passing the XPath. So we can just do some modifications here. Instead of passing the XPath directly here, we can basically create one web element. Okay, and web element, maybe you can give well. Okay, then just pass that driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay, so here just take this out from here and paste it here, and just here you pass that value. Okay, so remove one here and just import this web element and this you remove. Okay, so this is fine now. Okay, now what we can do is, so in this particular drop down there are so many country values, right? So we want to first list them. Okay, for listing these elements, we have, these are web elements, right? We have to list these elements in the form of list web element. Okay, list web element, and the select class provides one options method. Okay, get options, that is used to store all the web elements, okay, in a list form. For that, let me use options and a dot get of options. So now, so that means this, all these web elements, right? So these web elements are now getting kind of stored in this list. Okay, so because we are using a dot get options. Okay, so all the values, like this is a select class, right? So in the select class it is getting selected here. So this is locating this area, this place, since we are passing the XPath here, web element here. So now with respect to this selection, all the values from the drop down are going to get stored in this particular get options, because we are using a dot get options, right? So now first let me import this list. Okay, so here we are just going to make a comparison between what is being displayed here and what is going to be expected. Okay, so we have to compare between actual and expected. So for that, let me use one array. Okay, let me store couple of values in the array. So this drop down is of so many values, so I cannot declare everything in a single array. So I'm just going to pick a few country names here. Okay, then we'll do the validation. So here let me use one drop down. So it is of string, and let me use expected drop down values. Okay, so let me use this array, and here I'm going to declare a couple of values here. Okay, so while passing the values, it is always recommended that we do not directly select the text from here. Okay, because internally the HTML may not have this content. Okay, so we have to see what is actually present inside the HTML. So for that, let me just inspect to get the correct values. Okay, so just inspect this, and here let us copy like that. Okay, Afghanistan, then put the exact content here. Okay, as you can see, there is slight change in the A, so put the exact thing here, and I'm going to verify 4 countries total. Okay, concept is same, so let me use this Algeria as well, and these values are stored here. Okay, this is my expected drop down values. Okay, now let's go ahead and use one for loop. Okay, so start with int I is equal to 0, and here I'm going to do a iteration. I'm going to traverse between this array. Okay, so this is the list of get options. So I want to actually start from 0 and go up to 0 1 2 3. Okay, then I have to go I less than equal to 3, because I need a value till third index 0 1 2 3. Okay, it should be I less than equal to 3. So I can directly use dot options dot size as well. Okay, size as well, but this will give me the entire values of the drop down, but I don't need it. So this will not work because it will go out of the array, so it will not work. So let me just use I less than is equal to 3. Okay, because there are total 4 values. Okay, then I plus plus. Okay, now what you have to use here is, so options dot get of index. So what is the value I? Then we have a method in Selenium WebDriver that is get of text. Okay, text. So this is going to get the text of web element. Okay, so this is the actual value. Okay, so this we are going to get the actual value, but we also have to compare this value with the expected values that is present in this array. Okay, so let's use assert equals. Okay, equals, and it has so many assert equals types. We have to go with string because we are comparing texts. So let's use assert string type. Okay, this is the assert equals string actual, string expected. Okay, so let's use this, and here we can pass the values. Okay, so let us pass the value. So this is what is the actual thing. Okay, and the expected thing is going to be this one. Just paste it, and it is of I. Okay, and here we can print some text. Just remove this. Okay, let's say values are available as expected. Okay, so now let us run this code and see whether it's actually able to match between the actual and the expected or not. Okay, so let me run this. So it's going to launch a browser with this URL. Okay, so I have to, so let's see what is the error here. Okay, so it is giving error. So let us see what is the error. Okay, this is what the error. Okay, so I have to use this URL first. Okay, and I also have to change this XPath. When I just copied it, just copied this extra slashes. Okay, so just let me correct it. Okay, so now let me run this. So it's going to launch the browser with the URL, and let me see the results. Yes, so it is getting passed. So let us see the console. Yeah, so it is getting passed. Okay, so as you can see, it is getting passed. So basically what happened is, it is actually able to compare this data. This actual and expected data is getting compared and it is able to match, so it is getting passed. Okay, so let me do one thing. So I'll just make some changes here. Okay, I'll just remove the last few characters here. Okay, now let me run this code. So what happens in this case? It is going to fail. Okay, it is going to fail, okay, because the value is not going to get matched. Okay, so let's see the result. Okay, so what is it telling in the logs? It is telling that expected is this value ALGE, but it has found Algeria. So that means that the browser is able to locate this value, but here we are providing this one, so there is no match between the expected and the actual value, so it is failing. Okay, it's failing. Failure is equal to 1. Okay, so that means that if in case your UI value gets changed due to some changes, so your automation script will be able to find that problem. Okay, so there will be no match, so it will fail. So this is one of the examples of how to actually use the automation. So I have used only 4 countries because I have so many values in the drop down. So I just wanted to show the values, how you can compare the actual and expected, how you can basically deal with the drop down value verification. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Okay, so this window is not getting maximized because I have not used the driver as maximize window. Let me use driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. So now let me run the code. Okay, so here let me close this and run this code again. So this is getting maximized now, and behind the scene, as you can see, this is pass. Okay, because I have corrected the value here. So this is how we can use the validation for any given test case. Okay, so we can actually compare the data. Okay, this is one examples in the case of drop down. Okay, so that's all in this topic. Hope you have understood the topic. I'll come up with a new topic. Thank you. Thanks for watching.